Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is your host, Theo.
Hello, folks at home.
This is, what were we naming this podcast?
I think that's still up in the air. I've been going between Would You Have a Drink With You, which I think seems kind of long, and Barfly.
Barfly.
It's one of my favorite Charles Bukowski books.
I remember you said something in my house. It was Einstein or something.
Atta Boi Einstein.
Atta Boi Einstein.
I guess that would be the third dark horse in the race.
Yeah, Atta Boi Einstein. So let's see. Atta Boi Einstein, or do you like? I for some reason I heard Einstein or something.
I mean, it seems kind of fitting for the kind of things we're going to be talking about.
Because we're just, we have no degrees in the stuff we're going to be talking about
at all. Not experts by
unless it's business, because I do have a degree in business, but that's for another story. Okay. So basically, you wanted to reach out to the bar life, right, and have little conversations. So what do you have hopes? What your hopes are for this podcast?
I would like to bring a lot of different types of people that are involved in the service industry. I'd like to feature DJs who have been booked all around town in Austin, who are some of the top DJs, some of the bar managers and owners. I'd like to reach out to people who have restaurants in town, just to kind of talk to them about some of the experiences they've had while they've been in the industry. Atta Boi Einstein stemmed from the notion of when you had the aha moment of when you were going to first start whatever concept it was that got you along this road. I'd like to talk to them about whether they've opened up after everything that's happened with COVID and what that's been like.
So how's that going here anyway? Like, how's it for Lost Lake?
We actually got shut down initially 2 days before our first South by Southwest was supposed to happen.
Oh, so you guys got it early, huh?
Yeah.
I know some people that stretched it out to like April.
Oh man, I wish we could have. No, 2 days, it was March 15th. I actually remember sitting here at the bar and getting the text message about it. It was pretty interesting to see. I shut the bar down that night and walked over to Elephant Room. And I watched the band in there, and it was the first time.
Was it like the city text that
it was the city, yeah. The city had just let the mandate out. Governor Abbott let it out. I'm sorry, it was the mayor, I think, that let it out here in town.
Adler.
Yeah, Adler let it out. And then the owner of this bar texted me and said, hey, man, tonight, whatever time you close down, that's going to be it for a while. We had no word of any possibility of opening up. It was just we were like any business when we got that news.
And how was it for like the rest of the staff, like the barbacks? They were just like, go home, or like?
Yeah, I mean, immediately we shut the place down. I think it was on a slower night, so I was relatively empty. I think it was just me and maybe one other person. So we shut everything down immediately and decided.
Did y'all get paid out for that night or anything?
Yeah, actually, it was a really good night, and I think when people they got word that we were shutting down, they stuck around and celebrated as their last night out because
we got vacation, y'all.
Yeah, man, they did not know when school was going to come back to session.
Dude, that was kind of like a piss off to me because like when it started happening, I had been following it since the China thing since like fucking December, like when they first encountered it, and I was like, yo, all these people in China is fucking dying, dude. I don't know, but then it came here, and then when we had to finally do it, everybody was just fucking acting like it was a snow day or some shit like going on, like, oh, dude, let's all go to the fucking lake. Dude, that's not the reason why they did this.
No, there are people in Austin that are very active and did not give up things that they like to do outdoors. Yeah, it's funny to watch. To each their own, man. I think different people handled it different ways, and it was just a weird way of going about it.
I will say, I've never seen so many people outside when they were all at work. That's all. Nobody had time for that shit.
No. And so we shut down. I think everybody tipped a lot better because like they said,
it was like the last time.
We had no idea when we were going to see them again, what was going to happen with their jobs and stuff. So we headed over to the Elephant Room, which is a really cool jazz bar here in town. It was the first time I'd ever been there, and there had been more
very
people. Very upscale, cool place. I think it's from the 70s is when they first started it.
Don't go there with no sandals on.
No, you better come correct when you're going into that place. And it was the first time there had been more members of the band on stage than was in the audience. I was there with like two of the people that came with me.
Nice.
And if anybody knows the Elephant Room, the place never looks like that at all.
So what drinks are we drinking right now? Let's promote this.
Oh, yeah. So we're actually sitting in a really cool tiki bar that we've had. It's called the Lost Way in Austin. It's on Congress Street. I made you a pretty classic tiki drink called the Singapore Sling. is made famous by Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He talks about how he likes to drink Singapore slings with a side of mezcal on the side.
And it's truly like, I think you guys are known for your like decor of the drinks, right?
Yeah, we definitely are extra AF is what we say in here.
Like I got a fucking whole branch in my shit.
You better watch your eye when you're taking drinks out of these things for sure.
But it's good. I like it. It's just like, you know what I've noticed now that I'm older? I'd rather have a good drink than a fucking strong drink.
100%. Yeah, I think that there's a time around, I think, between like 26 and 29 that happens, I would say.
Yeah, well, I'm 31.
Average person. So you're well into
I got out of my trash drinking late.
Yeah, no, it's a funny thing. It's funny as you watch people age and progress to growing up and going from the initial...
Going from Taka to...
Yeah, going from the Long Island iced tea and the adios motherfuckers to actually drinks the grown-ups like that.
Here you go. Grab that drink you have in front of you.
Yeah, I'm actually drinking this is a Mezcal Paloma that I made.
Just hold it right there. I want to show everybody that they have their own custom tiki mugs.
Yeah, this one was made by an artist as a sample, and I would love to find out his name and get more of them. But
we'll get that in the description later.
Now, we are definitely, we ran a contest while we were open where a lot of our guests and artists in town were able to draw out designs that they thought would be cool, and then had a vote on our social media and are actually going to have the winner made.
Okay.
Yeah, it was going to be launched for South by Southwest, but I mean, that
canceled.
pushed back as
did y'all at least like email them and say it's postponed?
Absolutely. No, they're really, really cool designs and stuff.
And it was designed for the mug, or was it like own custom design?
No, custom designs. We told people to make some. I got some designs that look like the Capitol. A lot of they had a cactus. There were a lot of Texas tiki type designs. Yeah, I told people to be as creative as they wanted to be. So there was a really cool one. There was a gnome that was throwing a hook'em horns. No, people are. I mean, there's no shortage of creative people that are talented around here, and I got a lot of neat designs. If they didn't get picked now, at some point, it's going to be like American Idol. I'm going to use them somewhere down the line. For sure.
And what was the drink in yours? Is it the same as mine?
No, it's I made myself a Paloma, but instead of using tequila, which is the classic, I use mezcal.
Mezcal?
Yeah.
Okay. I think people always, so I think mezcal is like blue agave, right? Or something.
Like I said, I'm not an expert on anything.
I get in arguments and they're like, no, mezcal is blah, blah, blah. But I guess I get the point that they tell me you have to actually go into the fucking Mexican woods.
Absolutely.
And pull it out.
Yeah, Oaxaca is where you can go find some of the best and actually like tour the distilleries. I would love to have, we met a really cool representative. My sister was running a bar on Congress called Joanne's, and their rep was actually from there and invited her to go tour a lot of the distilleries they have there. It's something I'd like to do. Another person I'd like to eventually feature on here too.
But essentially it's tequila, right?
Yeah. A lot of people, to explain it to the layman and when they're in the bar industry, it's kind of like the way that whiskey and scotch are to each other.
Okay. And brandy.
Kind of like the cousin of it a little bit.
The way they're smoothing it out.
The smokiness is compared to what tequila is to mezcal a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Ouch. Well, I feel it would be remiss to not at least recognize the Black Panther death, R.I.P. dog. Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Did you hear that shit?
I heard that.
Bro, 43.
You know what? We were sitting here, actually, when the news broke. I had a guy that bartends with us, but he was just hanging out for the night. And he was...
you guys are open now, right?
Yeah, we actually, our first time opening was this past Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. We got the okay from the TABC to open if we had a food truck here and are going to continue to have that food truck here. So we were lucky enough to partner with a place on South 1st Street. Their name is Hawaii Nay. It's a really cool couple who are actually from the island. I think they moved here while their son was going to college here and started this business with them.
So they're going to be coming from now on?
Yeah, they're going to be here all day, every day while we're opened up selling their stuff. They've got a great menu, sell poke, a lot of like pua pork.
Some healthy stuff, dogs.
Healthy stuff, traditional stuff. I've worked downtown for a long time, so I know there's no shortage of like really good pizza, tacos, burgers, but I think a lot of people that are in the service industry, door guys, bartenders, women in the industry who we love to take care of as well, are looking for healthy options when they're actually open. So we're going to actually have one of the only places that are offering that.
Was it your regular that told you that Black Panther had gone?
So he let us know. He was he quoted it wrong. So the lead singer of the Black Pumas died at first. I'm a huge
He's
fan
just
of that.
twittering off.
Yeah,
like,
he was like,
about Black Pumas.
he, like I said, he wanted to break the news first, so he didn't check all his facts, like should always be done. But yeah, eventually I found out it was him. I saw him in the James Brown movie the first time.
Yeah.
I loved him in that. Yeah, it's crazy to think that he did that much work while he was diagnosed and going through treatment.
Hey, he didn't tell nobody, bro. Look, 43. Wait, how old are you right now?
I'm 35.
That's 8 years,
I
bro.
think that's what hit so close to home when I got that news is, you
I'm at least 12 years from there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's too funny. No, I got the news. It's crazy when you get to this age, so yeah, where you start seeing people.
You guys just start like thinking, like, what was he doing? He's fucking rich. How did he not get like?
You got to think, yeah, he's one of the most. Yeah, he has the means. You see the guy and
get the best treatments.
Yeah, he looked amazing. Was in all kinds of shape. If he was sick for that long in his movies, you couldn't tell. He didn't look it.
I wonder, like, who was his like. I don't know, but I wouldn't say attending physician, but like his who advised him on where to go, what to do, because there's this place in Baja, California. They're like the renowned Cancer Institute or something, because that's where you go when you're on your like last leg, and then like since
that's a perfect place to be too for that Baja.
But they have like almost a 90% recovery level, recovery statistics. This hospital, but because what they do as soon as you get in there, they start just flushing like your whole immune system starts shocking, like with vitamins and everything you need to start fighting this disease. And the ways they do it there, it's not really, I guess, legal here, because I think they're throwing in stem cells.
Do you remember the name of this place?
I can look it up, but the thing is, how does he not know about that? What is going on? He's like, if you have that much money and you're really like, I guess, committed to looking into it.
I think then it goes into how you were raised and what kind of like practices that you find yourself most comfortable looking into as far as that goes. You know, I think there's some people that are more that want to look for those type of holistic options, that are willing to go to other countries and seek those type of alternative treatments to it for sure. And then some people, but
somebody it's money is the option. Money is like the thing that holds us back from even going to the doctor.
100%. That's a really interesting conversation that I had with some people while COVID was going on. Is like, you know, so many people not only lost their insurance, but lost insurance that their family was tied to as well.
Your kids, your wife,
your significant other. And so that being said, you know, it's interesting to see how the disease has taken place, and you know, you don't want that to financially, as much as people are dealing with things.
I think it's called Natural Cancer Center in Tijuana, Mexico.
Mexico.
So it's Baja, California.
Definitely going to check that place out when I get some time at home.
Because they use alternative treatments, but they're like 90-some%. Like when you're on, this is your last option, they've been able to bring people back. It's insane. I just think it's interesting. Then again, you know, I'm not an expert. I'm just a dude producing a podcast. But in the end, you know, why wouldn't you risk the chance if you don't?
I would travel to the ends of anywhere if I found out something about a place like this, for sure.
I'm not scared of dying, but I'm gonna do everything I can to prevent it. You know,
and I think one thing that you're probably he was one person who the resources were not something that would hold him back from seeking a treatment like that. If it did work, and if he didn't know about that, or had someone close to him tell him about it.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about that stock split that came up
with our boy
Elon Musk? Bro, 5-to-1 split.
It's you taking advantage of that? I know that's yours.
I picked up at least 3 or 4 stocks yesterday, but even though they split it, it's still $400. So if many people might not know what we're talking about. So Tesla and Apple and a couple other big companies, what they did is they split their stock. Most of them had a ratio of a 4-to-1 or a 5-to-1. So they took the value of the stock and they split it into 5. So I think Tesla was running around 2,300, 2,400, and they split it so that at the end of the share price, so basically the company released more shares into the circulation, which split the stocks. So they put 5 times as many stocks into their circulation of their stocks.
Can I ask you for myself, because I don't have the type of knowledge that you do on this?
Yeah.
How are they able to do that?
They're able to do that by releasing some of their stock. So when they buy back all their shit, they wait for the split, and then they issue all this amount of stock that's available for people to purchase, which lowers their value of their stock. So what they did was influx 5 times as many stocks as there were right now. So it split up the stock price from $2,400 around $400 to $500. So I picked up like 3 or 4, but you know, within the day I was up $100 on each stock, so I made $400 yesterday. You know, so you just want to hold on to it, because I think, dude, whether or not Apple does good or not, the split was more for they do it every couple of years to bring in more people and more money. It's a way for the company to be like, hey, let's get these small investors in that can't afford $2,400 of stock, you know. But on the other end, it's kind of a bull market deal. So when they say bull market, and it means like a bunch of people are going to go, hey, the stock's $400 right now. You know, they're thinking it's going to jump up to 2,000 again. Probably not. But the way Tesla's might, I don't know about Apple's. I don't know, because Apple did a 4-to-1 split. So, but I don't think Apple's going to go much, unless depending on what they do on their iPhone and what's good for their business. I see Tesla going up and up and up.
They're about to come to Texas too.
They fucking went to space this year.
So man, there's nothing that I put
successfully. You know, and we saw it.
He's making that Hyperloop tunnel, right? It's called
he's still doing that. I think he just bought a shitload of land out here next to the airport.
He's Del Valle. He's actually
putting up a gigafactory. He's going to bring in jobs to the economy. Hey, all you people making that minimum wage, go out there, get $15 an hour.
I think I was reading that the Tesla factory, they're going to develop the trucks, is what they're going to specialize in.
Cybertruck.
I think that I read where they're going to have like 15 to 20,000 jobs that they're actually bringing now.
But it's also, this is my problem. When a company like that does that and they come in town, about 20% is already reserved from California jobs.
You would think so.
And that's what I don't like. So if you're going to come here, hire fully from here,
leave those
or at least keep it 20%, because then they'll hire some people up, and then they'll fill in the last 15-20% with more. So then you end up with 35 to 40% of newcomers instead of stimulating the people who are already here. That it's a fucking factory.
It seems like a false sell when you're actually pitching it to the people that are going to say yes or no to it.
But then they pull the bullshit issue of where, like, oh, we're buying up the land, helping the city, because the city is going to make property tax
breaks and all kinds of things like that.
And in the end, there's good and bad, but I would rather them hire the people already here that have already, it's not hard to train people.
No, not at all.
And especially in a factory where I am a big proponent of, you can learn anything. Like tomorrow, if I wanted, and I just got some books and started looking, I could be a fucking doctor if I wanted.
This is the beautiful thing about today's day and age of technology. You have YouTube, you can learn how to do
I can fucking watch how to do a brain surgery right now on YouTube if I wanted to. Like, okay.
I'm not sure the lines will be blowing up for that.
So there's procedure. I mean, I need at least one person to be reputable, right?
But I think the way, it's the same thing as the nicknames. If one person calls you, it's official.
There's this show on Netflix, I forget what it's called, but they were talking about how people are just doing stuff at home and doing shit like that and like learning stuff. They go to this.
That's been one of the benefits of COVID that I've seen. A lot of people are getting back into like hobbies and really cool things that they've left.
This is pre-COVID. But okay, and then they switch up into this fucking dog breeder, dog fucker, who was a fucking hick in the woods. And he's like, I've just been doing gene editing for about 3 years now. You can surprise what you can learn to do.
No big deal.
No, what he's doing is trying to make a dog fucking glow in the dark, and he's literally doing CRISPR gene editing.
What's this? I need to look this up.
I'll look up the thing in a little bit, but it's literally he's in a barn.
Okay.
And he has all these like synthesizing equipment and stuff, and I'm like, dude, this is unregulated. Anybody can just fucking do this in their house.
Just putting this out in the universe, I would like to look forward to the day that gentleman is sitting between the two of us to talk about
his glowing dog
and talk about his glowing dogs. 100%. I will buy a glowing dog. He said he was
like this close.
Yeah. I mean, you know how much you could sell a glowing dog for? I think people in Austin love dogs more than any place I've ever been to in the world. And if he could figure out how to organically make a glowing dog, I think we're onto something for sure.
If a hick in the fucking woods can do that, then I can fucking be a brain surgeon in a couple months, bro. Give me the scalpel, bro.
All right, let's see the race between these two and see who finishes first.
And then, bro, I don't know. People right now, I think, have too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
And it seems like
they have too much time on one hand and a phone in the other hand. I think that's a dangerous combination.
They can just scream into the void and then not get checked, and then people check them online, and then they have a fucking breakdown.
That's a scary thing. I was just talking to a really good friend of mine, and they were talking about the whole COVID deaths and how you're seeing the rates of that every day. And he had a really good expert who brought up a really good point. He said, you want to get scared of something, you should look up the suicide rates and how those have been affected by all that. I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Not to be mean or anything, but in my mind, wouldn't they have gone anyway?
I guess some people's take on COVID too. It's going to sort itself out as how they're looking at it. At the end of the day, you're right. No one's making it out of here any other way than that. Yeah.
And sorry to everybody who has any mental issues or anything, or needs some kind of coping mechanism that they're not finding at the moment. But if I've worked from home for a while, and then I program and everything, and I didn't see it was that big of an issue just staying at home all the time. But I get where people need their outlets. People need to go.
Do you think that just having the option of it being there is something that is like?
It's the same thing like you lend someone your car, right? You didn't think you were gonna get, but now you have no option to stay at the fucking house.
Yes, and that's feeling of anxiety towards this heightened.
And you're like, oh well, what if this happens? Well, then cross that when it happens. Yeah. Like people don't seem to understand. The sun's still going to come out tomorrow.
Yeah. There's going to be work to be done.
The bar's still going to be here.
Yeah.
I get it. People want to work. I get it. People need to work. I hate that the industry is being destroyed. I hate that. But I feel every bar, when it first happened, took initiative. Everybody was, hey, let's do to go.
We tried. Absolutely.
And honestly, that's what you're supposed to do.
That was the option they gave to everybody. At the end of the day, I think anybody who tried it, did it, will tell you that operating and doing all that costs more than anything you were cranking out. Like you got to pay a couple people to do that. For us, all of our drinks, the drinking making doesn't start when you walk up and ask us for it. These guys get here like 3 hours before we open.
They're cutting limes.
They're juicing, man. Like we're using fresh everything when we're juicing pineapples, grapefruits. Like
and some people don't take it. They take it. Oh, they're just opening up a fucking can of beer. What are you talking about?
No, I think there's people that like. There's all. Man, I love all kinds of bars. I'm in there going to
like when you go and make a mojito. Yeah, you make like 10 of those. Your fucking wrist and everything is tired.
Dude. It's funny you bring that drink up because I remember a couple of bars that I managed on Dirty 6th Street when I was first starting out in the industry. That was the bane of my existence. People would come and ask him for mojitos.
$2 mojitos.
Yeah, you're like, come on, man. Like, we don't have the means.
Back on Treasure Island.
The really funny story. So I kept doing it and would take this weird pleasure in telling people we didn't have the things to make that for them. This girl pulls a bag of mint out of her purse, says, here you go. And I had to say checkmate because I had sugar on hand and I had everything else. And she says, dude, I don't know if she just saw the look on my face.
No mint.
I don't know if one weekend she got annoyed at how much pleasure I took in telling her I didn't have that stuff, because I will be damned if she didn't walk up with a full bag of mint. And I made her a phenomenal mojito. She loved it. I told her how funny it was that she was carrying a bag of mint around. But
dude, she was ready, man. She's like, hey, nobody
I said checkmate, and I made them for. I didn't
tell me I can't have a mojito.
I actually made one for myself and bought hers because that was a very good checkmate moment where it's nice to have yourself checked like that.
And man, in the end of it, when they shut everything down, it's just like old time prohibition, bro. People are gonna find a way to do something.
Dude,
bro.
If you follow bartenders or people that are in the industry on social media, there were clubs that are open. You can find strip clubs, you can find poker games. I mean, if they're shutting everything down, someone's gonna find ways to make money on it and find ways to get it to the people. Man.
Like, I think I saw some trucks that were just driving around margaritas.
That's a great idea. I actually,
North Austin.
I've had some concepts pitch. I was paddleboarding the other day and saw some people, and this is cool. That's one of the good things about COVID that is coming out is people are really starting to be creative and think outside the box. And they had a drive-in made with a projector on the lake, and dude, there must have been like 30 paddleboarders sitting there watching their drive. It was Back to the Future. And they were serving cocktails too. Had a little amp and a speaker set up. It was cool.
People, you get twisted on the lake.
Cool. Yeah, I will have to find out the name of this company and if they're able to do it still. But yeah, it's cool. I'm telling you, people are really living outside of the box right now.
Do you think they're gonna start cracking down and be like, oh, you can't paddleboard and drink, you get DWI?
No,
bro,
man,
you can get DWI anywhere, a fucking boat, a fucking camel. Well, actually, you can't get on a horse, you know.
I would probably, I don't think we're the live music capital of the world anymore, but I think we might be the Dido, given the Central Texas area. We make, the bar industry is a great...
Talking about music. Sorry, we have a little autotune thing we like to fuck around with.
Yeah, T-Pain is locked up here with us. We let him fucking do his thing every now and then. We used to be the live music capital of the world. It'd be really crazy to see how much, as a city, we're losing off of the DWIs that happen, because that's something people don't talk about that are not happening with the prevalence that they would.
They're snatching up more PIs now.
Oh, right? For sure. You know what's crazy is one thing that I've noticed, and this is probably to be expected, is people forget how to act. Like, we just opened this weekend.
Nah, even like 2 nights ago, I had like 2 old fashions, and I was like, woo!
Yo, your tolerance falls off. Yeah.
So I'm not out here binge drinking every fucking night.
You forget, yeah, your tolerance falls down. We are not promoting binge drinking. We are, what does it say on the bottle?
Drink responsibly,
That's
people.
Right. That's what we are promoting, drinking responsibly.
But then again, you see all the new young people, and they don't give a fuck. But
hey, you know what? I'm finding 2 sides of that coin, man. I'm finding a lot of them just like that, like you're saying, and then I'm finding a lot of them just, they don't drink the same way that kids did when I was in college, maybe when you were in college or high school. As you said, you're
a lot of light beer.
Yeah. White Claws, man. Yeah. Like, you're not gonna.
So no, they're drinking White Claws now.
Yeah,
and that's stronger than the beer.
Yeah, for sure. That you got that 5% malt liquor in there. It's
and then they're well, I guess if I was to throw it on the other edge of the knife, if someone came up to me when I was 20s, go fuck yourself. You couldn't tell me shit when I was young.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Tell me I can't go out when I'm fucking prime, hard dick, and
that was
everything.
A really interesting thing to watch, how colleges were telling the students to be the responsible ones that aren't going out and partying and doing what they did when they were in college.
So I was all for it for like the first half, you know, right when we got to July.
Yeah.
But if people had actually listened and did what we needed to do, we'd be down to it right there in July.
I just watched a video. They had a huge concert in, funny enough, Wuhan. It was like a DJ show.
Yeah, where they're starting the second wave right there.
Maybe.
In a fucking pool.
No, it was a bunch of masses, people having a good time. It seemed under control. I don't know when they.
Yeah, but the thing is, they fucking shut down. You couldn't leave your house. You left your house. You got your ass beat by the cops.
That's one thing. I'm a big YouTube head for sure, and I'm loving watching how the different countries have dealt with it and how they're able to now reopen too. Because I mean, like, Switzerland obviously opened different than we did. Even in the United States, you have Texas where we're at, open totally different than California. Has a lot of stuff still shut down.
Yeah. They can't even open like the hair salons.
Yeah, no, even those are closed, and that's an industry that like. Yeah, I initially when we were talking about, I was thinking service industry, but I guess I'd like to talk to any business owner that has. All of us have been affected by that.
Open invitation, people.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people right now, you feel like you're out on an island right now, and it's a pretty normal feeling. I think when you're able to open up and talk to your other people and see the other peers, man, we're vulnerable. We're reaching out to people for help. We are having people help us. We have a lot of loyal customers. I mean, there is a lot of people lending hands to make things happen right now, and we just want you to be able to talk about it, be able to ask for that help.
How do you feel about like how downtown's gonna look like?
It's got to be totally different, man. I mean, right now, like I said, there's no word on anything going further than a lot of the bars that are opening are having to open pretty much as restaurants. So you have to seat people at tables. Nobody can stand at the bars. No one's supposed to be. I mean, one of the biggest things and why we were shut down the way we were is because of the intermingling. One of the biggest things you go out to is to talk to people that you don't know, to meet women if you're looking for that, to meet men if you're looking for that too. I mean, it's one of the things that I missed the most that really, really made me want to do this was the interaction with strangers. One thing, there's a lot of aspects to the industry, but one that I fell in love with was the really interesting conversations that walk through your door as a bartender.
Do you think that that's going to change?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be till I can let someone sit at the bar again.
Yeah.
So
now you guys can't even like.
Yeah, as you can see right here. Yeah, so we have a velvet rope set up right in front of the bar. That's creating the distance that we need between the bar and any patrons if they're coming to talk to us or ask us any questions. When they do, we're telling them the way that we have to operate is to seat them at a table, send a cocktail waitress over to them, and then they will come relay the order from bartender to cocktail waitress, acting kind of as a liaison between us and them. That's, like I said, the thing that I miss the most is the interesting conversations, and I think this is a nice outlet for me to be able to...
Do you feel like it's harder to hear them now with the mask?
You can't have that kind of conversation. Yeah. It's not, I mean, they're going to be screaming at you from...
We can even hear the orders, and it's like...
You can hear the orders, for sure, and when they walk in the door, they're masked up, and if they come and talk to us, they're wearing them up until they get to the table, and then they're able to take them off when they get to the table. And like I said, I mean, I'm wearing a mask the entire time. They can hear what I'm saying, but can you comfortably have the kind of conversations that you would have? Can you go back and forth, feel in the way that you did, and have that's part of what creates the vibes in the bars too, man, is the interaction between bartenders.
Have you yourself like gone to like an event or some kind of big gathering?
I have. So I was bouncing around because I just didn't know if we were going to open initially, so I went to a few places that had gotten their permits approved to open up before we had, just to see what it looked like, just to see how they were operating and
how everybody's handling it.
Yeah, man, because you got some people that look, as industry people and bar people, you don't have the knowledge to know how you're supposed to operate and treat when you're in a pandemic. You know, we're having to... It's the wild, wild west right now is kind of what I was telling someone about how you operate and how you open up, is because there's not really a blueprint. You're making the blueprint and figuring out how to do it safely.
Dude, some owners are just going for it.
Some people don't give a fuck, and that's...
Yellow Rose opened up like 24th. Yellow Rose opened in July.
I know some places just never shut down. I'm not naming names or anything, but I see posts and I
but the marshals went. The marshals went. Everybody, the city went like 4 or 5 times. Yeah. They couldn't find any violations.
Yeah, if you have good people on your legal stuff, reading through that stuff, and you can figure out how to operate.
They couldn't find a way. I think they were just doing it right.
Yeah, dude, that's kudos to their bookkeepers and the people that are reading through the legal stuff, because that's, I mean, good for them. I'm not going to sit here and knock anyone that's been able to operate. I think that's one thing that's been weird to see is like, there's a lot of places that see the post and get jealous that someone's making money, so they're the ones calling and complaining about it, and that's just not something. Yeah, that's not my style, man. I'm not about to sit here and I'm not condoning operating like that.
Also, it's really not in our
it's not a good look.
Our biology just to be like, hey, well, these people can do that and you can't do that.
No, yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Look at them. Yeah.
If I can do it safely, then why can't I do this?
Yeah, you know? I think that's how a lot of people were feeling when they were seeing that, and that's when they started reaching out to.
And in the end, they're taking the legal risk. They're not the ones just going nilly-willy about it.
No, it's health, it's legal, it's economic. They're putting themselves out there. I think that at this point in time, that's what we're going to have to do. Some places, you're completely in your right if you don't feel comfortable opening up and doing your thing. But you are also completely in your right if you want to operate safely and try and do your thing too, and try and give people some sense of anything they had before. You know, it's like I said, I don't think it is the same. When you were asking that question, it's going to be a long time before it looks the same. Will it ever look the same? I mean, are we maybe some things that like get destructive like this?
So what, I guess what I was trying to add, like, what is the brass tacks going to look like? How many bars from what they were till now? Like, what is that going to look like?
I mean, it's to say they're dropping like flies wouldn't be an understatement. To say that you're not getting a lot of word because the buck is being passed on who can assume financial responsibility. I mean, a lot of people are reaching out to their landlords to see if there's anything that can be done. They're reaching out to the people that they've taken their lending from, and I think I was telling you earlier, the consensus seems to be our hands are tied, and we're gonna have to put you in the let's point you in the direction of someone else. And everyone that is someone else points in the direction of someone else, and it feels like you're a dog chasing your tail around at the end of the day.
And do you know, like, with the people that you mingle with, that how many bars, like just on Dirty alone, are not returning?
Not off the top of my head. I know which places are and which are starting to put kitchens in, and they're just offering table service, and
they're just trying to make it work.
They're just trying to make it work and try and like just ride out a storm. And
like you put a percentage on, like 30%, 40% not coming back.
Man, that's the thing is, like, every day we hear from different real estate people that we like talking to about new places that are on the market, new places that are being sold, new places that are willing to let people partner up with them if they want to do that. I think that's one thing. I mean, nobody's not open to an offer right now, is what I'm finding with a lot of people that I'm talking to.
So it's even bigger than that.
It's even bigger than that. Yeah, it's like even if you are still holding on to it, if you have these kind of things in your back pocket, or you know people that own bars, I know that they're definitely taking offers for sure, and their ears are open to listen to options because, like I said, nobody really knows what this
Has
is.
anybody like? I guess the owners of the buildings down here.
Yeah.
Have they expressed anything?
Yeah, no, actually, the guys that we have this from, we're actually getting a new landlord. That's a funny thing. Those guys are in as much legal stuff and are reaching out for answers, I'm sure, just like we are. Yeah. We're having, like I said, a hard time getting through to them and a hold of them. It's easy to talk.
I heard they're cutting like rents. Like take it for 50% of what it is.
I should hope that happens, man, because it's crazy to think that you're going to ask people to pay whatever your full rent is,
fucking $10,000 a month,
knowing damn well that you can't operate. Yeah, how are you going to? I mean, I've been lucky with where I live and had really awesome landlords that just reached out to me and said, "Yo, man,
are you going to be okay?"
Yeah, yeah. They know I like talking to them. They know I'm in the bar business, so as soon as they heard that, they said, "Yo, Theo, like."
And people, please find some alternative way to make some money. People, like, if you're just going to sit there and not do anything, you're not going to get anything. Like, I'm not a big condoner about doing risky things, but I gamble on the weekends. Yeah. You know, so I'm out there supplementing my income on UFC fights and soccer and soccer games.
I was telling my girlfriend I'm considering an OnlyFans page for myself where I'm going to eat corn dogs with no shirt on.
Bro, yeah, we're showing wieners out here.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about that actually? About it was on fucking Twitter. This chick, right? I think she was the ex-Disney girl.
Oh yeah, she ruined OnlyFans.
Bro, did you see the details of how she ruined it?
No, I know that people were paying $200 a piece to like get access to it, and
she did a pay-per-view event and didn't show a damn nipple, bro. So
for $200, you should definitely get a nipple.
She scammed them basically because she initially
Bella Thorne, that's her name, right?
Yeah, Bella Thorne. So she initially did that. Then she did a pay-per-view event. Then basically, if you're gonna break down the brass tacks, she's scamming these fools, which they deserve to be scammed.
If you pay that much money to see this woman, if you want to see Bella Thorne,
you deserve to be scammed for your creepiness. But it's okay if I understand the other thing. Well, hey, so I was supposed to see a nipple.
Yeah, I don't know. Is the premise of OnlyFans is that you're getting naked views of these people that you're paying to see?
Yeah, I think in the wording you can show whatever you want, but it's assumed. Yeah, I guess it's assumed that hey, I'm gonna see that cooter. Yeah. You know.
I haven't heard it called that in a very long time.
Hey, don't be age dropping me, son. But
it reminds me of I remember watching the show with Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel used to host. It was called The Man Show, and they had a section where you would watch adult film stars perform household tasks. I was way too young to watch porn. They were making beds. That was the best one. Watching these two adult film stars make a bed and get in the pillow. Yeah, it was not. They didn't finish the chores ever.
So what she did. Now OnlyFans is cracking down, right?
Yeah.
So now
they can't pay the people back that are asking for their money back.
They're limiting because they already paid the girl.
Yeah.
So they're limiting.
She's not giving it back.
Yeah, she's like, fuck no. And so they're limiting how much they can make or something per sub on the tip.
Were there people that were making way more than that?
You can get like $1,000
She's fucking it up for other people.
Yeah, you should get $1,000 tip or something.
Yeah, because I remember seeing this post and it was like, fuck COVID, fuck someone that was in the news. Like, I think it was Epstein or some weird person like that, and fuck Bella Thorne. Yeah. And I had to look up. I was like, who the fuck is Bella Thorne?
So it went from 1,000, whatever amount tip, now it went to like, I think 50 or $100 for
so
tip.
She ruined the market.
Yeah. And then the girls used to get paid Friday, right? Every Friday. And now they're going to get paid at the end of the month.
She's fucking up the block.
She's fucking up the whole policy.
She fucked up the block.
Yeah, and she won't even say.
See, that's the funny thing about.
All she had to do was refund. Maybe I think it was only 30 or 40% of the people were
paid already. Yeah. She's
bitch was at Disney. Yeah. What are you talking about? And she's been directing porn since she left Disney, so she got that cash.
Good for her. Yeah. Good for her.
I mean, I'm all for scamming creeps. Fine, you know, show your toes, do something out there. But if you're gonna say something, do it. You know,
stick to your word.
If I say I'm gonna show my wiener, I'm gonna show my wiener.
It's just a funny thing to see, like you were saying earlier, people that don't treat the internet like real life. In real life, if you fuck up someone's turf like that, if you fuck up their business, like you're in trouble if you mess up their blog.
Bro, okay, so so I also have a double edge. If I want to say, if this was not an internet or electronic transaction,
yeah, let's say she's on the street hustling.
Hey, your money's gone, boy.
Hey, man, she's probably gone. Is the better thing to hear, you know.
If it was like a cash transaction and she didn't show you no nipple, what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah, no, I think on the street they do pigeon calls, and there's all kinds of things that happen to people that they just mess up. It's crazy to think that you ruin how people are operating. Because right now, I mean, if you can initially before, could you just click and get paid?
Yeah, well, you would get paid every week.
Yeah,
and then whatever tips you got was all yours, and it wasn't capped.
Yeah,
your tip wasn't capped.
Dude, I've had one job where I was paid once a month, and you got to get
suck stick. You got to manage. You got to be a financial manager.
Dude, you got to figure it out. Yeah, and dude, now looking back, that was a blessing in disguise. Because I did learn how to budget way better. Dude, as a bartender, you get paid every friggin' night.
Yeah, and then so what happened with OnlyFans? This gave opportunity to people with no fucking skills. There's people out there, that's what it is. Hey, go show
There's options out there. You got options.
And what are they gonna do? What are they? Oh, I'm gonna show my cooter for $1,000 for this dude, or I'm gonna go fucking work at a car wash. What the fuck are you think I'm gonna do? Or I'm gonna be a fucking waitress that's not even able to work right now. What are you talking about? I'm
entertaining a lot of options that wouldn't normally go through the mind as far as making money right now, for sure.
Bro, I've constantly told you the last few months I'm mad that I'm not a female, or I'm mad I don't have some tits to show. But
you've got things to work with.
I mean, I do. I just don't
let that.
I don't want the constant harassment by these men gays.
There's
which are perfectly cool. I just don't want to be. I don't know. I'll go show my asshole if there's some good money in it. But if I'm putting it out there and I'm getting like $20 tips,
wouldn't that
you're gonna hurt my feelings.
I think we all like to think. Wouldn't that be funny if you could actually see the demographic of people that would view your stuff the most if you were on a website doing stuff like that?
Bro, it'd probably just be a bunch of out of shape dudes.
I don't know who you're their type, but yeah,
bro, that's all the internet is. Okay, so I have to constantly explain this to people. So the internet is just dudes spending money.
The internet is a lot of things,
especially if it's porn or nude related. Any kind of porn out there, tranny, chicks with dicks, whatever. Only dudes are paying for it. I don't know any girls out there. You know this fisting video I just found?
That's something. Yeah.
What are you talking about? $1 billion industry.
Putting them on blast because there are a handful. It's like 1% of women.
Yeah. And there's some ones out there they'll go on kink.com or nothing, but they're not shifting through Pornhub for free because they're animals. It's just they had one other thing. They always just like to see people get choked.
Also, who pays for porn?
Dudes. It's dudes. It's only dudes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And maybe there's like that 10, 11% they're women, but the 98% of that $1 billion industry.
You got to think that this industry is booming since the COVID thing has happened too, right?
I would bet, bro. I bet there's been more porn created, or like not even porn created. There's been more porn stars created in the last couple months.
Initially, I thought that the Houston Astros were behind COVID, but now that we're talking about it, it might be the online porn industry.
I get everybody. I think there was a joke out by some dudes like Michael Chet or something. Or no, it was something like I think Netflix did a cover because they had like 39 hours of bullshit that nobody wanted to watch.
That's an interesting thing too. Like running around the way we normally do, I don't ever have time to watch shit. And so I'm actually having time. And you don't have an option. You have to sit the fuck down and watch these shows, and hopefully you're watching informational stuff that you can get something from, or things that are entertaining you.
I love TV, so I watch it all the time. But
that's my dude.
The thing is,
this guy can multitask. So I've watched him code and work and do all this while watching and playing games. So,
also, it's just something happening in the background. I need to keep me on that while I'm working on something. But then I'm also absorbing like whatever's going on. So I'll have ESPN on there.
I always catch you listening to different podcasts.
And I really I hate when people say, "Oh, the media is the number one energy." Who the fuck are you gonna get? You just heard about that fucking hurricane from the media. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't want? Oh, I'm gonna sit in my house and I know there's a tornado outside. Go fuck yourself.
Nah, man.
It depends on what if you want to get into those op-ed pieces where some douchebag from fucking Fox News or CNN goes in on what they think. Who gives a fuck what they think? It's about what the facts are. I watch to see, make sure there's current events.
100%.
Make sure nobody would have fucking heard of Belarus getting blown up or fucking with whatever type of bomb that one.
Beirut. That was crazy
Beirut.
to watch how that happened.
Dude, insane. I'm not buying it though. I'm not buying that it was fertilizer that did all that. I don't know.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people that. Yeah, I was reading about some of the first.
We would have never heard about it if it wasn't for the media.
Yeah. I think that they had left crazy amounts of fertilizer there for 6 years.
They said that they had pulled off 2,500 tons of this some kind of fertilizer that left alone turns into some kind of chemical that'll blow your fucking face off.
Yeah, and they had experts tell them multiple times that stuff sitting in the port was just
6 years ago they took it off that boat.
Yeah. I think it originated from Russia and couldn't get to where it was going after having to check in there.
So even if it was, that is an atrocity. That means that government should be pulled out and killed in the streets.
Well, I don't know if you've followed up
negligence.
Almost everybody from that government resigned afterwards.
Oh, that's what they should do, because that is a major fucking. That means the city. That means the state is at fault right now.
I think the
Port Authority is at fault for not making sure that was taken care of properly.
There's all kinds of people to blame. I'm sure enough blame to go around for sure. I think they left one of the members in charge as a prime minister, but other than that, the entire government was forced to
resign.
Yeah, for sure.
If they didn't die in that fucking blow.
There's just too much. There's too much blame to go on everybody. Yeah, that thing looked like, looking at the damage after, that looked like an atomic bomb.
Bro, the fucking picture, and then that was still that building in the background just sitting there.
At first, it was initially reported when I saw fireworks, but dude, that was like a mushroom.
Bro, I've seen fireworks factory burn down in Mexico.
They don't look like that.
What are you talking? It happened 2 years ago. It was on the news too. It was like Baja California or some shit like that.
It didn't look like that, right? It was like beep, 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 beep. That was crazy to think that they're dealing with all that stuff too, and that kind of that I think I saw they had 90% of their grains were stored there, and everything was brought in through there.
They have no food right now.
They have no food. They have no way of getting.
Now imagine that. That's even worse than COVID, and that's in the middle of COVID.
It's in the middle of it.
You were just chilling, quarantine, and then boom! If you were far enough, your windows got shattered. But if you were close enough, you were vaporized.
Not to mention it's a stay-at-home order, and your home is ruined. Now where do you go?
What do you do?
There's
no food. Within an hour, I think lettuce was from cents to prices $30 or some shit like that.
Oh man, I've seen the price of beef went to $60, $80, something like that a pound.
Bro, I got that butcher box. I don't know if y'all in. Get out of this slums. Get it straight to you. It's actually cheaper than the grocery store.
No. Those kind of things. It's cool. You do end up saving money on the back.
And it comes from local farms in Texas too. They find out where you live. Mine comes straight from here in Dallas, and sometimes San Antonio actually. So
and reach out to places like that right now. I'm telling you, the grocery stores that's another business that's killing it right now. Mm-hmm. So reach out to local places.
That's the only place people can spend money. That's the only place people can go.
These delivery companies too. Amazon. You want to talk about? I was reading about the 12 billionaires that are at the tops of the world. They're making more than they've made ever right now.
That boy Bezos made $13 billion.
He's on his way to be the first trillionaire.
In one day.
Yeah, that's some shit, right? And how much in taxes do they pay?
None.
Zero.
They do the Irish loophole where they keep headquarters in Ireland and continue to operate here so that they can shift all profits to Ireland and straight into their bank account with no taxes. Wow. But that is a straight legal IRS code. Yeah. So we can't do anything about it. But Theo, I want you to address the nation here or the people listening and see what else is to come with this podcast.
At the end of the day, man, I just want people to be able to come out here and not only tell their stories, listen to people that are in the industries that they know and have grown to love and have used to take care of their family, but I want them to see that, man, you're not on an island by yourself. There's a lot of people that are dealing with these things, that are hurting right now, that have families that they're trying to help, trying to figure out how to navigate through all this stuff. And for me, man, it's as much a therapeutic thing as anything. Like I said before, I miss the banter and the interaction that you have, and it's just an outlet for me to do. And I think that any information or experts that I can bring in here that will offer anything to anybody at the end of the day is what I'm trying to do.
And also, if you just want to rant, if you want to come out here and say what you have to say to the city, we can get it out there.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, it's an open invitation.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Any business owner, entrepreneur, person with a cool thing going, we want to hear about it. Like, come in, reach out to us. We
do you have an email or anything?
We're setting one up for the actual podcast right now. You can hit me up on my personal one right now, or actually at the info at Lost Lay, and I will actually respond to you through that one right now up until I get the one running for whatever we're going to end up naming this podcast. We'll figure it out.
And when is Lost Lay open right now?
Right now, we're going to be up and running Thursday through Sunday. We're going to be open from 5 till 1 a.m. And just until we hear differently and can change operations, we're just going to keep playing it by ear.
Come get this rum, y'all.
Yeah, come see us, man. What we say is come get lost and cast away with us for a little bit.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you,
have a good one.
Appreciate it.